It seems like there's always something going on in the world of UFC. We always hear of fights and threats and challenges being exchanged between the boxers. According to the latest reports, however, ex-YouTuber turned wrestler Logan Paul wants to go head-to-head against Andrew Tate in the boxing ring. Even his younger brother, Jake Paul, was recently also trying to get himself a fight with the controversial kickboxer. But how would Logan do it? Isn't he signed with the WWE? Despite that, it's possible that Logan might just be the first of the brothers to actually see Tate in the ring. So far, no concrete plans have been established for any of these speculated fights. But here's everything we know so far. Why pick a fight with Andrew Tate in the first place? Andrew Tate is a former kickboxer who's now turned himself into a social media guru who gives life advice. He's been called many things, including the worst alpha male on YouTube and the incel king, to name a few. Contrary to appearances, though, Tate actually hails from a rather humble background. His father was a famous chess master and has even said that he owns an entire fleet of supercars, which includes a Bugatti Chiron. Do you know how expensive one of these babies are? This car will set you back around $3.4 million. You have to be seriously rich to own one of these bad boys, and Tate, with his net worth of $25 million, fits the description. Recently, Tate also has gotten himself a new target audience. Those who are desperate to learn money-making skills can now sign up to his online university, Hustlers U. It's not a real university, it's more of a series of online courses on Discord about skills like investing and copywriting. Some have speculated that it's a pyramid scheme, while others have actually confirmed that the courses have helped them make more money. Tate's fame comes from a lot of controversies, though. Over the past couple of months, he's blown up into the mainstream because of his misogynistic views on women. He's gone on several podcasts and had discussions with other YouTubers and influencers where he's loudly touted these views and received a fair amount of backlash for it, too. As you can guess, those headlines got him all the wrong sort of publicity on TikTok, but he's found ways to spin even that to his advantage, creating a whole rich, self-made bad boy persona around it. Recently, he even drew up a $3 million offer to take on Jake Paul, but then revealed that no talks have taken place between them after that offer. Logan Paul's wrestling journey. Now there's Logan, Jake's brother. Logan is not an easy opponent to go up against. In case you didn't know, he was last in the ring during his 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather in the summer of 2021. Now he's trying to beat his brother Jake by fighting Tate before him. The 27-year-old YouTuber has already confirmed that he will come back to the ring this December for WWE. He has his contract with the wrestling company keeping him busy for now, but Tate isn't against the possibility of having Logan as an opponent, or Jake for that matter. We understand his reasoning behind this too. After marketing himself as the ultimate alpha male, what better way to truly prove yourself and establish your self-made claims than to fight and defeat one of the strongest fighters out there? Logan Paul went up against Floyd Mayweather last summer. In an episode of Mike Maljack's vlog, he pointed out how the Pauls had said absolutely nothing about Tate, and he wanted to know if they were aware of him at all. Since Tate is kind of a hot topic right now, there should be a way to make some profit off him. He has a point. The combined popularity of Tate and the Paul brothers is undeniable, and a fight between them will probably break a lot of rating records. Logan responded agreeing that while Tate is the most famous man out there right now, his fame is probably just a fad and won't last for long. Whew. What do you think? Is Tate going to be around for a while, or will he fade into obscurity? Unless Tate can do something else too, such as fight insanely well, no one will remember him in 2023. That's what Logan thinks. It's possible, but if he defeats Logan or Jake in the ring, we have a feeling he'll be here to stay for a while. What does Logan think going up against Tate? Logan says he'd be totally down to have a match with Tate. For now, he's kind of stuck in his wrestling contract with the WWE, but he hasn't given up his stake in the game either. Recently, fans were given confirmation that he's going to come back to the ring in December. And of course, what better way to do that than to step into the ring with someone who's possibly the internet's most controversial figure? Initially, Logan had something to say about Tate's rapid online fame, saying, "It's good to be hot. We'll see how long it lasts." But he also threw some insults at Tate, calling him fat and drug addicted. He also asked his friends if there'd be public interest in the match, to which he received a very positive answer. Seems like Logan is looking for much more than just a physical tussle with Tate. Dana White says Logan Paul won't be joining UFC. Moving on, Dana White recently discussed and shut down any hopes that fans may have had of Logan Paul joining the UFC in the middle of the ongoing feud between himself and Jake Paul. The dynamic between Logan Paul and Dana White is a healthy one, though. We recently saw Dana White being featured on Logan Paul's podcast, where he was highly praised on multiple occasions and even asked about whether Logan would be joining the UFC. It's understandable that he wouldn't want to follow in his brother's footsteps and that he'd definitely be thinking of ways to make his own mark. Following a UFC event that took place in Long Island, White talked to the media during a press conference where a reporter asked him whether or not he'd be interested in having a UFC fight with Logan. White gave a very vague answer and left us just as confused as we were before the question was asked. Even though he didn't completely shut down the possibility of one happening, it's not enough for us to get our hopes up. For now, it seems as though this little tiff between the two is going to stay out of the ring. Logan isn't exactly rushing to schedule an entry in the world of MMA either. He did just sign a proper contract with the WWE. But it's possible he could make his debut appearance at SummerSlam 2022, and so a crossover episode featuring UFC and Logan Paul was going to have to be put on hold for now. Now, what about Jake Paul? For now, Tate hasn't started any talks with Jake Paul about a potential mega money boxing clash, but rumors have been circulating that he's still thinking over the idea. Jake launched his pro career in boxing in 2020 and was victorious in his first 5 professional fights in the ring. However, his competence in the ring didn't stop the naysayers from talking. A whole list of high-profile names called him out, and one of those was Tate. Tate has claimed he has 87 fights, out of which only 9 were losses as a kickboxer. His list of wins also includes former UFC contender Luke Barnett. Reports from YouTube Drama Alert show host Keemstar claimed Jake Paul was targeting a fight with Tate and is planning to send a message to the controversial star on Logan Paul's podcast. Tate recently came out and labeled himself the most top man in the world while comparing his search statistics to YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. Tate proclaimed that he's more famous than the Paul brothers while looking at a graph of the Google searches people did for both their names. He even confidently claimed that he'd definitely win if they had a match, and Paul knows that too. To anyone who saw the clip, it really seemed like he was trying to rile up the Paul brothers. It's not hard to understand what Tate is trying to achieve here. He's already received plenty of popularity through everyone being equal parts shocked and horrified by his controversial opinions on women, masculinity, and other things. He was launched to quick stardom not too long ago, and it seems that he's looking to cement his place in the spotlight by having a fight with Paul. It's definitely a tactical clout-collecting move for the both of them, no matter who the victor is. Being a former social media influencer who then left all that to go into boxing, Paul's life has undergone more or less the exact opposite trajectory as Tate. He said he didn't know who Tate was. Let's not forget, we did then see him refer to himself as the top G in a recent TikTok video, meaning that he has to have some sort of idea as to who Tate is. The rivalry between Logan and Tate is healthy, though. Even though Tate publicly vowed he'd defeat Paul in a fight, he admitted that he respected Jake for pulling through with such a big and successful career change. He understood that Paul isn't short on money and gambled with his reputation to switch careers, and that takes a lot of guts. Jake's also shown many times how serious he is about the sport. He even brought back the old school ritual where boxers would trash talk each other outside the ring to create more hype around their matches. Tate is a big fan of everything Jake has done so far, so it looks like Tate respects Paul and is only looking for a friendly match. But that won't sell. Who wants to see some positive rivalry between two controversial celebrities who are at the top of their game? Both the Paul brothers and Tate definitely know that this isn't how you sell yourself and get people interested in your match. Think about it. Our match is so much more interesting when the competitors can't stand each other. Logan thinks WWE is the place for him. After his victory at SummerSlam 2022, Logan is firmly convinced that signing with the WWE is the start of a very big chapter in his life. He claims that wrestling is his calling. His victory at SummerSlam officially marked his comeback to WWE after his debut at WrestleMania 38. The YouTuber fully established his potential as a worthy WWE contender by defeating veteran wrestler The Miz and by officially getting back at his ex-tag team partner. While Paul continues to cement his reputation as one of WWE's best prospects, he's claimed that wrestling is what he was meant to do in his career. It makes sense for him to think that, given how impressive his SummerSlam 2022 appearance was and the huge strides that both the brothers have made in their careers in a short time. Well, that's all for today's video, folks. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more UFC and Tate-related news. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.